Imagine stepping aboard a grand ship, the unsinkable Titanic, as it embarks on its ill-fated maiden voyage. But what if we could do more than just imagine? What if there was a way for us to actually travel back in time and witness the Titanic's tragic journey firsthand? What would it be like to walk its luxurious halls, breathe the same air as its passengers, and, ultimately, experience the moment the ship met its doom? It's an idea that seems as impossible as the sinking of the ship itself once seemed, yet recent scientific advances have opened up doors that we never thought possible. What if we could one day use cutting-edge technology to travel back in time, reliving the most historic moments of our past? But how would we handle witnessing a disaster like the Titanic? How would time travel change our understanding of history? And what kind of questions would it raise? Join me on this journey of exploration as we dive into the mysteries of time travel, the Titanic, and what might happen if we could revisit the past. Let's get started. Before we embark on this incredible journey back in time, let's take a moment to understand why the Titanic holds such a special place in history. After all, it's not just a ship, it's a symbol of human ambition, innovation, and, ultimately, tragedy. Picture it, the early 1900s, a world teetering between the old and the new. The Titanic was the epitome of the future, an immense ship built with the latest technology, the pinnacle of engineering marvels. It was so advanced that people truly believed it was unsinkable. Imagine the confidence it must have taken to sail that vessel across the Atlantic, thinking it was invincible. Now, we know how that story ended. But the Titanic wasn't just a marvel of technology. It was a microcosm of society at the time. On board, there were wealthy industrialists sipping champagne in lavish suites, while steerage passengers, often immigrants, crowded into the lower decks, dreaming of a better life in America. The juxtaposition of these two worlds aboard the same ship speaks volumes about the time period and the class divides that existed. It's like walking into a grand theater where one act is filled with opulence, while another is shrouded in the desperation and uncertainty of those who were trying to climb the social ladder. Now, let's zoom out for a second. The sinking of the Titanic is one of the most infamous disasters in human history, but it's more than just a tragedy. It's a moment in time that highlights the consequences of human arrogance and ignorance. Despite all the advances of the time, it wasn't enough to save the Titanic. It's a harsh reminder of the limits of human achievement, and a lesson that, no matter how powerful or unstoppable we feel, nature always has the final word. But the most intriguing part of this story? The unknown. There's so much about the Titanic that still remains a mystery, even over a century after its sinking. We think we know everything there is to know about that fateful night in 1912. We've heard the stories of the last moments of the ship, the heroic and tragic tales of passengers and crew, the desperate struggle to survive in the freezing waters of the Atlantic. Yet, questions linger. Could the disaster have been avoided? Were there missed opportunities to save more lives? What was really going on behind closed doors as the iceberg struck? This uncertainty, this lingering mystery, is what makes the Titanic so compelling. It's a story we keep coming back to, searching for answers, trying to piece together a puzzle that doesn't quite fit. Imagine if we could answer these questions once and for all. What if we could go back and witness the Titanic's voyage firsthand? Could we uncover secrets that have been hidden for over 100 years? What would we discover that history has overlooked? As we step into the past, ready to witness the Titanic in all its glory, we must remember that we're not just seeing the ship. We're stepping into a moment in time, an event that shaped the course of history in ways we still feel today. And who knows, maybe, by understanding it more deeply, We might unlock lessons that could save us in the future. As we begin our journey back in time, imagine standing on the deck of the Titanic once more. The stars above are brilliant, the cool sea breeze gently brushing against your skin. It's a calm night, the excitement of the voyage still fresh in the air. But something is off. There's a tension that even the grandest ship in the world can't shake. A feeling that something is about to go terribly wrong. But what if I told you that, just below the surface, hidden beneath the calm waters of the Atlantic, there's an even greater mystery? One that could change everything we know about the Titanic, and about the very nature of history itself. You see, while we've all heard the stories of the iceberg and the tragic sinking, there's something else that few have ever considered. The possibility that the Titanic's fate may not have been as inevitable as we've been led to believe. What if there were other factors at play, something we didn't know, something buried deep beneath the ocean? Could the ship have been doomed from the start? Could it have been sabotaged? And, more intriguingly, could we find evidence of that? Sabotage if we looked in the right place? As scientists have started to dive deeper into the wreckage of the Titanic, they've uncovered something extraordinary, something that no one expected. The wreckage, though damaged and scattered across the ocean floor, still holds many secrets. But it's what's hidden in the deeper, more inaccessible parts of the wreckage that's raising eyebrows. One of the most unexpected discoveries came from an unusual source, the ship's very structure. Hidden within the twisted steel and corroded metal were marks, strange anomalies that didn't make sense at first glance. Could these strange markings have been there all along, or did they appear after the ship sank? Could they tell us something crucial about the Titanic's final moments? Something that could change the entire narrative we've built around the disaster? But even more baffling, some of these marks seem to suggest that the ship's collision with the iceberg may not have been the only blow to the Titanic. Imagine this. What if the iceberg wasn't the only thing that sank the ship? What if something else had already started the ship's downfall long before it ever hit that infamous iceberg? That's right. Hidden deep within the wreck, scientists discovered traces of something. Something not from the ship at all? Could this be evidence of a second, more sinister factor in the sinking? Could the ship have been compromised before the iceberg was even a threat? As we start to unravel this mystery, one thing becomes clear. We're only scratching the surface. What we thought we knew about the Titanic's sinking might be just the beginning of a far more complex story. Could there be forces at work that go beyond simple human error? Could this be something bigger than we ever imagined? And what does this mean for our understanding of history? So, what do we do now? The answers lie just beneath the surface of the ocean. The wreckage may hold the key, but to fully understand what happened on that fateful night, we need to dive deeper into the mystery. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Now that we've uncovered a tantalizing glimpse of the Titanic's mysterious downfall, it's time to dig into the science behind how we discovered these shocking new details. This isn't just a tale of speculation. It's a scientific investigation that has taken decades of research, exploration, and, in some cases, cutting-edge technology to finally reveal the truth. For years, the Titanic's wreck has been shrouded in mystery, resting nearly 12,500 feet below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a place so deep that only the most advanced submersibles could make the journey. And yet, despite the challenges, scientists have been relentless in their pursuit to understand what happened that fateful night. One of the most critical steps in uncovering these mysteries was the use of sonar mapping. Imagine this: a vast, uncharted ocean floor, and in the middle of it, the remains of one of the most famous ships in history. Using sonar technology, Scientists could send out sound waves that bounce off the ocean floor, creating detailed maps of what lies beneath. These high-tech devices, sometimes attached to remote-controlled submersibles, have allowed researchers to scan the wreckage in ways never before possible. But what they found beneath the water wasn't just the ship's fragmented hull and twisted wreckage. They uncovered something much more astonishing: subtle, previously unnoticed anomalies in the ship's structure. These weren't just the result of the ship's collision with the iceberg. No, these marks seemed to tell a different story. One that suggested the Titanic might have been vulnerable long before it ever hit the iceberg. The next step in the investigation involved a thorough examination of the wreckage itself. Marine archaeologists and engineers, using remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, meticulously explored the Titanic's broken remains. They found that some of the ship's metal had been weakened in ways that didn't seem natural. What caused this? Could it have been a flaw in the ship's construction? Or could it have been something more sinister, something hidden from view until now? Scientists also began examining samples from the wreckage, looking for unusual substances embedded in the metal. It was then that something truly remarkable was discovered: tiny traces of a rare substance that had never been linked to the Titanic before. Could this be a sign of external damage or sabotage, perhaps linked to a sabotage plot we'd never considered? These findings raised more questions than they answered, and each new discovery added to the growing suspense. And yet, it wasn't just the physical wreckage that revealed secrets, it was the data itself. Thanks to advancements in technology, we now have access to detailed satellite imagery and deep-sea scans that offer a clearer picture than ever before. By combining these scans with historical records, scientists were able to piece together new timelines of the Titanic's final hours, helping us understand not just how the ship sank, but why it sank in the way it did. Imagine standing there in front of a computer screen, watching as the satellite maps and sonar images come to life in real time. The ocean's depths, once an impenetrable mystery, are slowly revealing their secrets. The Titanic, a giant in its day, is now a subject of detailed, cutting-edge study. As each new piece of information emerges, we begin to realize that the ship's story is far more complex than we ever imagined. These scientific discoveries have brought us closer to the truth than ever before. They've changed our understanding of the Titanic, turning it from a simple tragedy into a multifaceted mystery filled with layers waiting to be uncovered. The advances in technology and the dedication of the scientists involved have allowed us to peer into the past with a clarity that we never thought possible. And now, the real question remains: what does this all mean? As we dive deeper into the wreckage, could we uncover even more hidden truths? Could the Titanic's secrets, once thought lost forever, finally be revealed? As we uncover more about the Titanic's final moments, the mystery deepens. What we've learned so far is astonishing, but it raises even more questions that extend far beyond the wreck itself. In fact, this discovery has the potential to shake up not only our understanding of history, but also our entire view of the world, perhaps even of the universe. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on what this discovery truly means. The Titanic's sinking was a pivotal moment in human history, a tragedy that reshaped safety regulations, maritime practices, and how we understand the limits of human engineering. But what if, just maybe, this is more than just a historical event? What if uncovering the Titanic's secrets could change everything we know about the forces that shape history itself? What if, for instance, we're not just learning about the Titanic, but about the very nature of disasters and what triggers them? What if these newly uncovered anomalies, these hidden marks on the ship's hull, reveal a much larger pattern of human error, technological failure, or even sabotage that could have far-reaching consequences in our modern world. Imagine this. If the Titanic's demise wasn't just a simple accident, what does that say about other historic tragedies? Could the disaster have been part of a bigger pattern? Something that happens over and over again in history? A cosmic, unseen force of fate that we, as humans, are destined to contend with? Perhaps the Titanic was just a warning, a lesson in hubris, showing us that even our most advanced technology can be taken down by forces we don't fully understand. But the mystery doesn't stop there. These findings force us to confront our own assumptions about progress and the limits of human ambition. We think we've mastered so much: technology, innovation, exploration. Yet, the more we uncover about past disasters like the Titanic, the more we're reminded of our vulnerability. What does this mean for the future? How will our modern, cutting-edge technology, so much more advanced than the Titanic's, withstand the challenges of a rapidly changing world? And let's not forget the emotional impact of this discovery. As we look back at the Titanic, we're reminded not only of the technical failures that led to its sinking, but of the lives that were lost. Real people with families, hopes, dreams, and untold stories. What happens when we uncover more about their experiences? Will this deeper understanding make us feel closer to those who perished? Or will it create an even greater divide between the past and present? This is where the true power of this discovery lies. It forces us to ask profound questions about the nature of history, human progress, and fate itself. Could the lessons we learn from the Titanic's wreckage change the course of history in unexpected ways? Could we avoid repeating the mistakes of the past, or are we doomed to make them again, over and over, like a dark cycle of human existence? And if we can uncover such hidden details about the Titanic's sinking, what does that mean for the mysteries still buried beneath the earth, or even in the stars? If we can peer through the ocean's depths, could we one day peer through time itself, uncovering truths that have been hidden for centuries or longer? The discovery of the Titanic's mysteries isn't just about unraveling the events of a single night in 1912. It's about how our understanding of the past shapes our future. It forces us to confront the fragile nature of life and the fine line between success and failure, between greatness and catastrophe. As we keep digging deeper into the Titanic's wreckage, we realize that each revelation brings with it a new question, a new layer to the mystery. What we've uncovered so far is only the beginning. The truth about the Titanic, about the forces at work in that fateful night, may be more elusive and complex than we ever imagined. But one thing is certain: this mystery is far from over. After years of relentless exploration, countless hours spent poring over sonar data, and the painstaking efforts of scientists diving deep into the wreckage, we've finally uncovered the raw truth. The pieces of this puzzle, which seemed scattered and disconnected, are now falling into place. The Titanic's fate wasn't just a product of human error or an unfortunate accident. It was the result of something much more profound. Ready for the jaw-dropping reveal? Here it is. New evidence suggests that the Titanic's sinking was not simply a tragic accident of bad luck, but a combination of forces that could have been avoided. Forces that might have even been tampered with. The Titanic's seemingly unsinkable hull wasn't just weakened by the iceberg, it was already compromised by a series of factors that we had never considered before. Researchers have discovered that the metal used to build the Titanic's hull had subtle imperfections. These flaws, which might have seemed insignificant at the time, created a vulnerability that made the ship more susceptible to the damage inflicted by the iceberg. But here's the kicker. These flaws might not have been natural. Some experts believe that these imperfections were caused by poor quality materials or even deliberate sabotage during the ship's construction. And it doesn't stop there. One of the most chilling aspects of this revelation is the discovery of unexplained marks on the ship's hull. Marks that appear to be the result of something other than the iceberg collision. Could the Titanic have been targeted? Could there have been an external force acting in the shadows that played a role in setting the course for this disaster? We don't have all the answers yet, but the evidence points to a startling possibility. One that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Titanic's tragic end. The implications of this discovery are staggering. Imagine the Titanic, once thought to be the pinnacle of human engineering, now exposed as vulnerable, perhaps even manipulated. The truth we've uncovered forces us to re-examine the entire story of the Titanic, challenging everything from its construction to its fateful encounter with the iceberg. But here's the twist. Even with this new understanding, the questions continue to linger. What caused the imperfections in the ship's steel? Was it a simple mistake? Or was there something more sinister at play? Could this discovery change the way we approach safety and modern technology? And if the Titanic was vulnerable before the iceberg even struck, how many other untold disasters in history were the result of similar forces, hidden from view, waiting to unfold? The Titanic's secrets have been buried for over a century, and while we've uncovered more than we could have imagined, the deeper truths still lie beneath the surface. This revelation changes everything we know about the ship, but it leaves us with more questions than ever. Could we have prevented the Titanic disaster? And what does this mean for the disasters waiting to happen in our world today? As we leave this moment of discovery, we're reminded that history is never as straightforward as we think. The Titanic story will never be just a tragedy anymore. It will always be a reminder that beneath the surface, the real truth is still waiting to be discovered. Now that we've uncovered these astonishing new details about the Titanic's sinking, what comes next? While we've made significant strides in understanding what really happened that fateful night, this discovery is just the beginning. So the Wreckage holds countless more secrets, waiting to be revealed. What else could we learn if we continue to dig deeper? Scientists are already planning further dives into the Titanic wreck, using even more advanced technologies to explore untouched areas of the ship that have never been fully examined. With new underwater drones, more precise sonar mapping, and an ever-growing body of research, there's hope that we'll uncover even more clues, perhaps even the smoking gun that explains exactly what compromised the Titanic's hull and whether there were any external forces at work. The implications of this discovery go far beyond the Titanic. What if similar flaws exist in other historical ships, buildings, or monuments? Could our assumptions about past engineering be completely wrong? Imagine uncovering a hidden pattern that challenges our understanding of how the world's greatest structures were built. Could these new insights shape the way we design and build our cities, bridges, and ships in the future? And then there's the possibility that we may be on the verge of uncovering new historical narratives. What if the Titanic wasn't the only story of sabotage or hidden flaws? Could this discovery prompt a re-evaluation of other infamous historical events? What secrets are buried beneath the surface of other tragedies, waiting to be uncovered? The Titanic's wreckage may have revealed more than we ever anticipated, but it's also raised more questions. The technology that helped unlock its secrets will continue to evolve, and who knows what future explorers will discover in the deep sea. Perhaps the next breakthrough will reveal even more about the Titanic, or it could lead us to entirely new realms of discovery, completely shifting the course of history as we know it. As we close this chapter, we're reminded that history is never fully written. With every new discovery, we inch closer to the truth. But that truth may always be just out of reach, waiting for the next generation of explorers and historians to uncover it. As we've seen today, the Titanic's story is far more complex than we ever imagined. What we once thought was a tragic accident may have been shaped by deeper forces, hidden flaws in the ship's design, and even potential sabotage. These discoveries not only change how we understand the Titanic, but also challenge our views on human engineering, fate, and the mysteries still buried in our past. But this is just the beginning. With each new revelation, we uncover more questions and possibilities. Who knows what secrets the Titanic's wreckage still holds? What other truths are hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered? If this exploration sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like and share this video with fellow mystery lovers. Drop a comment below. What do you think really happened to the Titanic? And, of course, make sure to subscribe and check out our other videos as we continue to unravel the greatest mysteries of our world. The journey doesn't end here. There's so much more to discover.